Switzerland is now recording the worst year on record for glacier loss. These images show the dramatic recession of one of the largest glaciers in the Eastern Alps. Scientists say if the world does not curb greenhouse gas emissions, more than 80% of Swiss glacier mass will be lost by 2100. 80%. Our Chief Meteorologist Ginger Zee is on a glacier near St. Moritz, Switzerland, with why 200 million people may be at risk.
The glorious glaciers of Switzerland. Majestic, miles-long rivers of ice formed by thousands of years of snow falling onto the Alps, compressing and freezing over. But this year, these glaciers are disappearing faster than we have ever seen in the century they've been closely studied. Bare rock that had not been exposed for at least 2,000 years, now ice-free. In July, part of the Marmolada Glacier collapsing in Italy, killing 11 hikers. This 1968 plane wreck, 3 bodies of hikers encased in the ice for decades, discovered this year.
Just to get an idea, this year Switzerland lost 6%. On an average extreme year is 2%. So what's the word we use for 6% loss?
I don't know. I have no words.
Dr. Felix Keller studies these glaciers and is trying to save them.
When we would stand here in the year 1878, the glacier tongue was very steep.
Ice cores and paleoclimatology show us that these glaciers have naturally grown and receded over tens of thousands of years. But humans have exacerbated that change.
So we do have a good idea that the ice loss that we're seeing now has not happened in thousands of years. To this degree, this fast.
To this degree and this fast, it seems that we have several thousand years, it never happens.
So when we talk about the tie to human-induced climate change, is that connection strong?
This connection is very strong.
This year's extreme melt came from an exceptionally snowless winter and several record-breaking heat waves in Europe. Scientists throughout Switzerland have been covering some of the glaciers with reflective blankets each summer. That way they can slow the melt.
It's just not enough. This area of the Alps is warming 2 times faster than the rest of the world. So the ice that I'm standing on here, 50 meters deep, it'll be gone by 2031. Actually, all the ice up to that rock face will be gone. Part of the reason why Dr. Keller and his team are trying to find a way to slow down the melt.
Last winter, Dr. Keller trapped the glacier's meltwater and reused it to make snow.
We use this water, which is 200 meters above the glacier. We use this water pressure to produce snow without electrical energy.
30,000 tons of 100% renewable man-made snow will be made each day in the winter, both insulating the glacier and reflecting the sun away from it.
If we are successful, we can slow down about the glacier melting about to 30 to 50 years.
And Ginger Zee joins me live now with more on this. Ginger, you look at these images, these before and afters, and it's easy to see how dramatic these changes are. But it's also easy to think, oh, that's too bad for Switzerland. So why is this a global problem?
This is a global problem because it's not just glaciers in Switzerland that are melting so quickly. And there are communities from the Andes, in Peru, to the Himalayas, and folks in India who have far fewer years and way less ice. And so Dr. Keller is hoping that his technology could be useful there. But now let me take you to our drone, and I've got a telestrator because I want to explain something even more. When I was talking to friends and family and saying I'm going to the glacier in Switzerland, they're saying, oh, I've seen those chunks of ice falling into the sea. Well, that's an iceberg, right? Just to clarify, the area that I'm drawing on there, that's the glacier. That's the kind of river of ice that you see coming through the mountains. Here's the other part. We talked about how far in length. I mean, in 1990, this thing was 1.5 miles that way. So what I want to make a point of is that the area that you see that I've got shaded in yellow on each side, it's about 600 feet up. It's this slope that's very clear. That's how high the glacier used to be. It's not just that it has stopped in length or receded in length, but in height and in width. So the total volume that's changing. And, Dr. Keller was saying, you don't just throw hundreds of thousands of blankets everywhere or put a ton of snow. Really, the thing that's going to make the biggest impact is reducing our emissions, because that will slow the warming of our planet. Diane?
And Ginger, these efforts like the reflective blankets, the reusing of the glacier water to make snow, how much of an impact are they having?
They can impact quite a bit. So he anticipates 30 to 50 years of preserving glacier once his project gets started. That's a really long time when you're losing so much in half a century. I mean, if you think of what's been lost even in the last 32 years, 1.5 miles of glacier, if you could preserve that, that would be huge because it keeps repacking as long as the ice stays every winter. So you just have to reflect that sun off of it or, you know, keep it insulated, which is what his snow does.
All right, Ginger Zee, fascinating stuff. Thank you, Ginger, and stay warm.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.